the testing team UX PM sync for September 23rd. Happy fall, Gina. It looks like you are first up on the agenda. So why don't you, and we don't have any follow-ups from last week, so why don't you jump in?
Okay. I'm going to share the first couple things is just more of updates on where I am in the usability testing research. So just wanted to jump over and show you I've started to analyze 2 of the sessions thus far, and I'm planning to finish up the rest of them today. And you're welcome to like jump in and see what I've done so far. Cool. But I was wondering if you've done this type of research in the past. I was just wondering if there's any methods that you've used to analyze that data outside of Dovetail, because I did see that there was this template for job maps in Mural, which looked really cool, but I wasn't sure if this is something that we should be like using, because it looks like it's something for the team to use.
I haven't used that before. What we did when we did the jobs, we done research around code testing and coverage and code quality, was did the initial brainstorming with the team and then surveyed those things out. And that's how we settled on our jobs. And that's part of the reason that they're really broad. So that was the research method we used. I would take whatever you think is going to work best, to be honest.
Okay.
If you want to try this, let's go for it. Sounds good.
Yeah, this looks cool. So I'll figure that out. I think I'll have a better sense once I finish analyzing like the data that I found. And then the other question I had was the video you sent out around 14.5 refinement.
Yep.
I'm just wondering in general, do we have like a timeline of when we can stop making edits to this page, basically?
So I stopped making edits to the page when we record the kickoff. And at that point, I always drop a comment that says that now the board is the source of truth. Like up until then, the board and this may not exactly match. I try to make sure that they're matching. And I kind of use this as a guiding, here's where we're going, here's the theme, here's kind of how we talk about it as a narrative. But once we lock in on the issues, or once we record that kickoff, I just close this out and then reference the board. The board is the source of truth.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. I just wanted to make
whenever we record the kickoff is the last time we do edits.
Yeah. I was wondering that because of the project quality summary issue, and I have that as a stretch for this milestone. So if it does end up falling to the next one, I wanted to make sure that I could edit it.
Yeah, no worries. And what is on there when we close it still may not be reflective of what we work on. Like between the time that we do the kickoff recording and when we actually start work, things might shift still. So we always talk about in the kickoffs that we plan ambitiously. This is our best guess right now of what we're going to work on. But things come up, like different opportunities arise that literally we just can't miss, or performance problems or whatever it might be. And that's okay.
Okay, that's good to know. My last thing was, this epic. So this was, and maybe this is something I need to talk to Hayana about, because it seems like she made these child epics. Is this around, the description makes it sound like this is around all of the testing widgets. Is it specific to code testing and coverage?
I think it's all testing widgets.
Okay. So
yeah,
these child epics then are also,
those would be all, yeah, everything.
Okay. Because it looks like they're all around code coverage right now.
That would make sense. That's our most widely used feature, so that's probably why. And then I don't know if you're following along with the MR widget.
Yes.
Yeah. Working group, that's the word I'm looking for. They are working on changes that standardize, and then they also added they're going to add into the core components tracking for these things as well, which is really exciting. So both of these might just get closed off at that point. Like I said, we don't have any issues open in here. If we can get some stuff opened up for Q4, great, but I would really wait for the working group before we change anything drastic. What I would think is that we change content, like data we're sending to the widget, and maybe even the type of widget it is beyond just the standard list. That would be the change that we would think about. I don't know that we have a reason to do that today. I think that what we're presenting is fine and it's doing the job that users need it to do, so long as the data actually shows up.
Yeah.
It's always the biggest problem.
Okay. I don't know, that just reminded me too, yesterday there was a showcase and I need to like dig up the issue, but there was a UX showcase around the security widget. And I think you had already seen that issue because I saw that you and Scott were commenting on it. But there were some changes, or there are going to be some changes to the security widget and how it works.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you're aware of it, but I just wanted to bring that up for awareness.
I will try to go take a look today.
I'm gonna find that issue. Should be. It wasn't that big of a change. It was more just being able to like create issues on specific security findings. Okay, putting it in our doc.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see, my priorities this week. Let's share my screen. So I'm recruiting. We have a ton of people who wanted to talk to us about the customer journey map research around build artifacts. So today I'm going to send out emails to try to get those scheduled starting next week. So next week and the week after we'll probably be really busy with interviews. I'll try to loop you in as many of those as optional as I can. This is problem validation, so not, it's more in the 80% PM than on you. So that's why I'm going to include you optionally, but they'll always be recorded and you'll be able to weigh in or review them there rather. And then supporting Scott, he is also working on a recruiting request. We're just slamming Caitlin with those lately, but we're getting them filled, and which takes me to my next agenda point on our agenda, which is the practice interview session that we're doing today. So my goals coming out of that are that we give Scott feedback on his interview style as well as the content that of the questions so that it's refined going into the interviews. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of that. I'll be taking notes, he'll be conducting the interview, and you're the interview subject. So that's how we're going to approach that.
Okay.
Cool. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with what we were doing in that session. And I made it a full hour just so we could do about a half hour of interview and then up to a half hour of feedback and refinement on the content itself.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Awesome. Okay. And then I'm probably not going to get to drafting abstracts around any future sessions or partner sessions for talks, but I am working on a session, an enablement session for sales in October, where I'll be talking about kind of the path of a team, a delivery team or a development team or a department even, of how they go from core to premium to ultimate without secure. So helping the sales team and the field teams sell that other vision of what problems do these other features solve for your customers beyond security, beyond that app scanning, because they have a good handle on that, just to help tell that story of ultimate and how the cross-stage feature functionality really enables the developer to do their job. Cool. Well, that's it from me. Anything in the current milestone giving you heartache, or anything in what I've lined up for 14.5 giving you any concerns?
No, not right now, at least.
Awesome.
I think I'll just have more updates on the research next week, most likely.
And it looks like you have performance testing validation in 14.5. Are you still thinking that that's going to be your priority in 14.5 and whatever design iterations on the project quality if that flips over?
Yeah, that actually, I think so, yes.
Okay.
And that's gonna take like, my guess is the same amount of effort that I'm putting into usability testing right now. So that
so.
should leave me enough room to take on the project quality summary.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Well, if that's it, we'll stop the recording.